How's it going, YouTube, and welcome back to The Big Friendly Gardener. Today I just want to talk quickly about the new fuel changes from ethanol 5 to ethanol 10 fuel, and is it safe for garden machinery? So I've come over to my friends over in Wellingborough, MowerMan Garden machinery. If you've not checked them out before, please hit the link in the description, give their Facebook a like, and we're just going to show you some examples of customers that they've dealt with already that have had issues with E10. So what are the changes with E10? I don't know if you know, there's a lot of conspiracies about it, whether it's to push old cars off the road, but basically the ethanol content has changed from 5% to 10%. Now this can wreak havoc with stuff like fuel systems, fuel pumps. As you can imagine, ethanol's a higher burning fuel and it changes the ratio completely of the fuel. Now our right mower on the back, as you can see here, does say no more than E10, which is a bit worrying. We're already at that standard. Now I have been told that most Japanese engines are actually run and completely safe on E10, but to be quite honest, we don't know yet. There's been no data. It's until places like MowerMan in Wellingborough start releasing, this is what we found on customers' equipment, how are we going to know? So let's go take a look inside and talk about the differences or how we can combat this new E10 fuel. Let's go. So this video can be for home users, business owners and stuff like that. Anyone that's using petrol, garden, grounds maintenance machinery. So what are the type of mixes that we've got? So with your kind of your lawnmowers, your petrol lawnmowers, we're going to be taking a straight petrol mix straight into that fuel system because it's a 4-stroke engine. Stuff like your hand tools are predominantly 2-stroke. If you don't know what that means, this video is probably not for you, but basically with 2-stroke, the oil needs to be mixed to the fuel. Typically we're talking 1 in 50 and stuff like that. Now me as a company at CutCrew Limited, serving Northamptonshire and Milton Keynes, we hand mix all our 2-strokes. So what that means is we'll get a mixing bottle, we'll put our fuel in and mix it with the fuel to the correct ratio for that equipment. Now let's see an example of what the new E10 fuel has done to some 2-stroke equipment to a customer of MowerMan. So here's an example. This is some 2-stroke oil that we would mix with our fuel in a mixing bottle, and that would go into some nice hand equipment, stuff like strimmers, hedge cutters, chainsaws and stuff like that. Now, David over at MowerMan pulled this out of a customer's chainsaw. Look at that. You can see the fuel partition there. Ethanol at the bottom, really, really dirty fuel. Now, as you can imagine, the customers had this bit of kit for years. It's been serviced by David for a long time. And now all of a sudden there's E10 changes and we're getting fueling issues like that. That is absolutely disgusting. So what are the options? Let's talk about the options and how we can get out of that. I mean, one of the options, as I did mention, if you're buying a super unleaded fuel, so if you're going to your fuel station and you're picking up super unleaded and paying the big bucks, you're still going to get an E5. It will actually say on the fueling handle the classification of ethanol content. So E10 is 10% ethanol. A super unleaded is normally E5 or RON 99. Both are completely safe, and that's what we've been using for years and years and years, and it's tried and tested. The only other option you've got is to use off-the-shelf alkalite petrol, something like Aspen. So this is around £21 for 5 litres. The great thing about Aspen is we always move to Aspen over the winter because you can leave it in fuel lines and it doesn't deteriorate any of the fuel system. It's tried and tested, we know it's safe, and it's not going to cause any nastiness with our expensive machinery. So it comes in a 2-stroke or a 4-stroke. So your 4-stroke for your 4-stroke engines like your petrol mowers, stuff like that, and the 2-stroke for your hand tools. Now, same as us, we would go through 5 litres before 9 o'clock in the morning. You can get drums of it, you can get it in 25 litres, so if you are a business, maybe it's worth going into your local machinery shop or give MowerMan a call with the number in the description and talk to them about, you know, what's the best price I can do it for bulk purchasing. But it's definitely interesting to see that there's already fuel issues coming through machine shops. Basically, I want to spark that debate. Hit in the comments if you've noticed any changes in the machinery since using E10. Me personally, obviously we use our kit day in, day out. We're a commercial grounds maintenance business. One thing I have noticed is I audit everything. We are going through fuel a lot more. It seems to be burning a lot quicker, which is obviously the higher ethanol content. And also our hand tools, we're using the exact same ratio. The lads know what they're doing. They're trained in mixing the fuel themselves, but we are seeing a lot more white smoke coming out of the delivery system. Harder to start, slower starting, stuff like that. And I'd imagine that's the spark plugs and the filters getting clogged up. So they're probably going to need to be serviced more now that we're using E10. We're going to have to chat to David about potentially moving to Aspen and seeing if it's viable for cost. But to be honest, is it viable for cost? Yes, because if we're having to buy a new machine every 2 years, it's not going to be beneficial for us. So let us know in the comments below what you have noticed about the change for E10 fuel. Thank you for watching The Big Friendly Gardener. Keep on gardening.